Good afternoon, everyone. This is Priya here. So, last two modules we have been looking into the verification, how a verification environment is, and how we are doing the verification. So, today, what we are planning to do is we are looking into a design. So, I have already sent the PDF file of traffic controller, four-way traffic controller to everyone. So, currently, we will look into the details of it, what is the design specification and how the design specification is going to get converted into a coding. We may not get time to completely look into the coding today. So I'll first explain the design specification. So I'm just opening up the design specification. Hope you are able to see my screen. So this is a four-way traffic controller. So what is a four-way traffic controller? A four-way traffic controller is nothing but, I think you might have seen lot of junctions. Correct? In every junction, you have seen a traffic signal, red, blue, green, it changes. So how it will be different from a four-way traffic controller? So when it's a four-way traffic controller, what does it mean is all the four directions the traffic is coming actually for us. So if you see here, the design just consists of, if you see there is a counter, there is a comparator, these are P and F are called two registers. There is a multiplexer to choose between these two registers, values, and this is SM is nothing but a state machine. So if you see here, this is the block diagram. This is how when you go to work in companies, they give a specification. Exactly, I have done a specification like that. So if you see here, these are all called as the inputs, which is coming into this block. This is called as the block diagram. So in the block diagram, if you see, there are few signals which is coming into the block, and there are few signals which are going out of the block. So if you see the few signals which are coming, is this block consists of combinational logic and sequential logic. What do you mean by combinational logic? Is combination logic consists of nothing but your gate circuits. So for example, mux is a combinational logic. Counter, it is a sequential logic. TF are two registers where we are going to load the value. I will explain it in detail. And SM is a state machine, which is again nothing but a sequential logic. Comparator can be a combinational logic. Okay. If you see, what are the outputs here? There is a clock and a reset. When you see, every circuit works on a clock and reset. For example, clock is nothing but a input signal where it is continuously, if your clock period is 10 nanoseconds, that means for initial 10 nanoseconds, it will be high, and for the next 10 nanoseconds, it will be low. So the period becomes 20 nanoseconds there. Okay. Now, what is a reset signal? If you see, this is my clock input, reset input, active high. What do you mean by a active high reset signal? So why we need a reset? I think we explained why we need a reset in the last module also, but still I will explain. When you have a mobile, when it gets hung, what you will do? You will switch off the mobile and restart it. What is happening there is it is resetting your mobile. What do you mean by resetting is reset is a condition you apply to a design where all the known signals and output come to a known state. That means there may be an internal signals declared inside here. These are the outputs and these are the inputs. So when you internally do a logic design, you may need internal signals also. For example, this counter is completely an internal block. There is nothing which is getting connected to the input or output here. The the signals coming to the counter are internal signals. So there is an internal signal coming to the counter and there is an internal signal going out of the counter. So you may have to declare internal signals inside this also. So that internal signals also sometimes the reset has to take care. So a reset is a signal which is given to a block in order to have the outputs or the internal signals to start from a known state. Now, here it is known as active high. What do you mean by active high? There are two kinds of resets. One is an active high reset and another is an active low reset. So here active high means whenever my reset value is set to 1, what happens? All my output and the internal signals are reset to a known value. That is what the functionality of the reset. Now, if you see here clock and reset, this is only single bit. If you see here direction is input, the direction of the clock is an input. That means it is coming as an input to this block. Bus width is 1 means it is a single bit. Okay, there is no active high or low for here because clock is toggling between 1 and 0 for the time period. Now, if you see reset, it is an input and it is also the bus width is 1. That means it is also single pin and it is active high. The description given is reset the device. Now, if you see there is a data in. So, the data in is nothing but 8 bit. The bus width is 8 bit. It is an input signal. So, for a data in, there will be 8 pins. That means you can give, what is the data given? 7 down to 0 you need to declare. That means you can give a value from 0 to 2 raised to 7. 2 raised to 0 to 2 raised to 7 or 2 raised to 8. Tell me. You can give that much value. 7 down to 0 is 8. So 2 raised to 8 values can be programmed. What is the description given? 8-bit data input to P or F register. So there is a P register here and an F register. This is an internal register again. So you are giving the value of the data in order to load the value to the P and F register. We will see in detail why the P and F register is used, where they are used. Now, there is something called as start pulse. That is also an input and it is a 1-bit input. What is happening? That is again given directly to a state machine. So it tells start pulse indicates the start of state machine. That means start pulse is used as a trigger to start execution of your state machine. So what is the state machine and all? You will have a look into it so you will understand. Now there are load P and load F. Load P, there is a value you want to put it into it and load F is also a value you have to put it. But here they are telling the load P is 1 bit and load F is also 1 bit. And it is active high. Same, it is also active high. What does this do? When you have a load P as high, you are going to, whatever the data in value you are giving, that is going into this register. Hope you understand. I will again make it clear. Whenever the load P bit is set to 1, what it will do is enable the signal to the P register. That means this P register is enabled. Okay. Now load F means whenever the load F bit is set to 1, then the F register is enabled. So mainly load P and load F are to enable the P register and F register. Now, what is this data in is going to do? We will look into it in detail. I hope this is clear. I will repeat again. Clock is an input signal which is 1 bit. Reset is an input signal which is 1 bit. It is an active high. It is used to reset the device. Data in is the 8-bit data input to P or F register. So whatever you are going into D in will either go into P register or it will go into the F register. When you have a value load P is set to 1, whatever the data in, it is the P will get loaded with that value. And when the load F is high, F register will get loaded with the value which is given in the data. Hope that is clear. Start pulse is a signal in order to start the state machine. Now, what are the outputs here? What does a junction has? A traffic junction, what and all they have? A traffic junction, if you see, red, yellow, and green. Correct? If you see a four-way traffic junction, there is an east, north, sorry, north is the top, you will see the north, this is the east, down is the south, and left is the west. As per mine, when you are looking into it, it differs. So I am telling top is north, down is south, right is east, and this side is west. That is a four-way junction, right? So when you have that four-way junction coming into picture, each side will have a red, yellow, and a green. That is what is your outputs are. If you see here, north side will have a green, red, and yellow. East side will have a red, green, and yellow. South side will have a red, green, and yellow. And west side will also have a red, green, and yellow. Okay, hope you understand. So here, each this is considered as an output because what is the traffic junction? It has to blink the red light has to blink, the yellow has to blink, and the green has to be blink. So now if you see, red has to be like what is you have seen. Why these counters are there, I will explain. Let me explain this and come back. So if you see, north green, east green, south green, west green. These are all the four outputs. Indicates green signal in north, east, south, and west respectively. So when an NG bit is set to 1, that means the north side is having the green highlighted. Okay. Now, when the north is having the green highlighted, remaining all sides, which light should be high? Is it green should be high, yellow should be high, or red should be high? Automatically, when the north gets green, east, west, south, their red should be high. So there's a mistake here. I have to change it. So yellow indicates this is yellow signal. So there is an yellow for north direction, east direction, south and west direction. And there is a red in the north direction, east direction, south direction, and west direction. Hope you understand. Okay. Now, so hope you're clear about how the directions are happening. Now the description of each signal in detail, we will see how it is going on. So the description is load P and load of signals are used to load data into P and F registers. So what is the use of this P and F registers? For example, if you see a red color and red, there is a counter, right? If you see in a junction, you will stand in the junction for around 120 seconds. That is the longest, 140 seconds is the longest I have seen. That is 2.5 minutes. So 140 seconds, what is that? It is nothing but a counter value. So you are loading the counter with two values. If you see yellow, it is very less time. Yellow is almost amber or yellow is almost like 2 seconds or 3 seconds will come. So there are two registers which we are giving a value. One is to count the red and another is to count how long the red should be high and another is to count how long the green should be high. Okay. So there are two values which we are giving. One is to make sure that how long the red should be high and another is how long the green should be high. And these are parameters which you can program at any point of time. How? Because you can change the data in value. The data in value is going into the counter. You understand why this counter is required now? Because you will be counting a red signal and you will be counting a green signal. So whatever value you program the data in, that is going into this registers and it is used by the counter to count a green signal or a red signal. Hope it is clear. This register gets data from data in input and stores the data which indicates the duration of in which green and yellow signal should be turned on. It makes sense because red you don't need it. Green and yellow. So the green should be high and yellow should be low. So this design specifies how long the green and yellow should be high. It does not specify green. Why I will tell you. Does not specify red, sorry. Why I will tell you. For example, green you have given it for 40 seconds. Okay, 40 seconds is green. automatically the red of others will be 40 seconds. Correct? Agree? Now, when I change from the north to the east, now what is happening? I am changing the east yellow to 2 or 3 seconds. Correct? So remaining all are still in red. So it doesn't matter. So whatever the value of that green, it will automatically, green and yellow will automatically add up to the red. I hope you have seen the police in the traffic signals. If you have noticed, there is a junction box kind of thing where he goes and programs the value and he resets or switches on. Actually, what is he doing is there is a microprocessor setting there. He is actually programming the value of the data in how much you are giving, how many seconds you can give. He is programming that and he is giving enabling these signals in order for that. Hope this makes sense. So what is the load P and load F is used to do? It is to load the data into the P and F registers. The register gets data from the data input and stores the data which indicates the duration of green and yellow signal. Now what happens on reset? So there is a state machine. Why is this state machine is used? So this state machine is used in order to control the green, yellow and red. That means each state is representing one sign, one output kind of thing. That is, there is a north green state, there is an east green state, or there is a north state, east state, south and yellow. Sorry, south and west. When you see the coding, you will understand that. So the registers P and F will be loaded with the values loaded before on reset. Okay. So on reset, you will have a, on reset, there will be a value loaded into the P and F register. Whenever on reset, the state machine has to start from north green state. I think we'll see the state machine, then you will understand more on it, which is in the coming slide. It is coming. I don't want to tell anything about it. So the registers P and F will be loaded with the values loaded before on reset. The high on the start pulse will cause the state machine to start. So the start pulse is a trigger to start your state machine. When the counter reaches 0, this new data will come into effect. So what happens is, so first state, there is a north green. So if you see here, this is my initial state. Okay, this is north green. As soon as I enter the north green state, what happens? The counter P starts counting. For example, I have given the counter P as 40 seconds. 40 is the value I have given. What happens? Either it will be count from 0 to 40 as an incremental counter. So you can design it as an incremental counter where you are counting from 0 to 40, or you can give it as a decremental counter where you reset, on reset you give a value of 40 and then it starts decrementing. Here, what are we giving is we are giving a decremental counter. That is why if you see here, you are giving a value of data in loading the counter with load P, load F is high. Data input is stored into the counter. Okay, hope you understand. So I will explain the state machine. That is what is explained here, and I'll explain the state diagram, timing diagram also, so that it will be easy for you to understand. So now in the initial state, what is happening is I am starting from a state called as north green. What happens in north green? Only which output will be high? Only NG will be high. NG will be 1. EG, SG, WG will be 0. NY, EY, SY, WY will also be 0. NR will be 0. Why? Because in the north side, only one can be high at a time, either green or yellow or red. But what happens to the other direction sides? For the east, green is 0, yellow is 0, but the red is high. Correct? For the south, green is 0, yellow is 0, red is high. For the west also, green is 0, yellow is also 0, but the red will be high. Okay? Hope you are able to understand. Okay? I hope this is clear now for you. So, now when my initial state starts, I am in a state called as north green state. That means in the north green state, I will make north green signal as high. Remaining all the greens are 0. All the Ys are 0. Uh, except the north red, all the other reds will be high. Now, I have loaded the counter with the value of how long the green signal has to stay. So for example, 40 seconds if I take, after 40 seconds, now my state machine is moving from the north green state to north red state. In the north red state, or it can go to a north red state or the east yellow state. You can give a state names as per your wish. I prefer to give east yellow because I will look for the counter for yellow. I am not going to look for the counter for red. So what I will do here is from the north green state, I am moving to the next state. When my 40 seconds is over, I am going to the east yellow state. Now east yellow or amber, I will be giving for 4 or 5 seconds. That's it. Assume we will give for 4 seconds. Now in the east yellow state, what should happen? I have to make the red, north red as 1. Remaining all the red is 1. All the yellows are 0. All the greens are also 0 here. Only condition is my east yellow should be 1 and north red has to be made as 1. That is why in this state, if you see, north red is also becoming 1. East yellow is becoming 1. Remaining whatever happened in that NG state, you will be carried forward. Now, the new counter kick started, which is 4 seconds. Now, after 4 seconds, it was east yellow. Now, east yellow becomes 0 and east green becomes 1. Because after the yellow, I need to give green as 1. Now, in the east green, what and all signals we need to see. When the east green is 1, if you see, east green is 1. In that case, north green, south green, west green, all are set to 0. Correct? North yellow, east yellow, south yellow, W yellow, all are set to 0. North red is set to 1. East red cannot be 1. Why? Because my east green is 1. So of these, any one thing can be only 1 at the time. South red has to be 1. West red also has to be 1. Okay. Hope you guys understood this much. Now, green is there. Again, what is the counter value? P, which is again 40 seconds. You have already programmed it on the beginning of the program. Correct? 40 seconds. I wait for 40 seconds, the green to be there. After that 40 seconds is over, I am moving on to south yellow. Okay. So in south yellow state, when this yellow is 1, all the greens has to be 0. All the yellows has to be 0. South red has to be 0. And north red, east red and west red should be 1. So south yellow will be 1. Remaining except the north red, east red and west red, all are set to 0. Okay, hope it is clear and you are understanding. I will explain each stage for you guys to easily understand. Now east red is 1 and south yellow. Yellow will be there for only 4 seconds. So at my F value I am counting for 4 seconds. As soon as my 4 seconds is over, I am moving on to the south green state. In the south green state, I will make south green as 1. Remaining all the other greens are 0. All the yellows are 0. South red is 0. Why? Because either my green or red only can, green, yellow or red can only be high at a time. So north red, east red and west red becomes 0. Hope I am clear. Now from the south green again, I am having a 40 seconds, correct? 40 seconds I wait for it and move to now which is pending. West yellow is pending. I will go to west yellow and make it as high for again 4 seconds. So automatically south green has gone because west yellow has come. Now the south red is made as 0 in that state. So if you see here, yellow and red can be one at the same time. And there is a green, and the one south green is one, remaining all the other directions red is set to one. Why? Because only one green can happen at a time. Otherwise, what happen if you have multiple greens? Utter confusion, right? Vehicles will be moving here and there and clash over, right? But in our Bangalore traffic, people will go in different directions during the red also. So you can't tell that. So now south red and west yellow happened. Now what is happening? Again I am counting for F, which is 4 seconds, right? Yellow can have only for some amount of time. So 4 seconds I counted. Now yellow to green it happens. Now when the west green is high, all the other greens are set to 0. All the yellows are set to 0. West red is 0. But east red, south red and north red are set to 1. Okay. Hope you are clear about it. Now west green happened. After the west green, what is happening again? I am going to I am going to north yellow, because now I am going, the north direction has to get its sign, right? So I am going to north yellow. Once it comes to north yellow, I am making the west red. So again it will look for the 4 seconds and go to the, make the north green as 1 again. So this is a cycle. If you see, it is a cycle which is continuously happening. That is what is happening in our traffic signal junction also, right? What is happening when you're looking, when you're standing in the north green, all the other sides are red. So when the opposite direction vehicles have to start coming, this is actually a four-way junction where only one direction get a chance to move on. Okay. If you are having opposite sides to get to move on, the right turn happens, the straight happens, then we may have to change the state machine accordingly. So this is a very simple state machine where four-way traffic happens, only one side we are doing. I don't want to complicate with more stuff because this itself looks a bit complicated for you. So more complications I don't want to do. That is why this is a simple state machine. Now, what you understand in this design is, one is, if you see here one, there is a block diagram given, input output descriptions have been given. What else? Each signal's input output description is given. Then they are giving internal description, how the state machine works. Okay? That is a description given, and then comes your timing diagram. So we need to analyze this timing diagram little more in detail. So I hope you can see the timing diagram here. So if you see here, clock is toggling. Can you see here? I hope I cannot enlarge this a lot. I think if I can zoom it, it would be nice. Okay. So if you see the clock is toggling, right? For example, 010101. This is the clock toggling happens. So as long as your simulation is running, the clock toggles. What is the use of this timing diagram is, when you do your design in Verilog and you come up with, you simulate the design and see, this is how your output should look like in your waveform. What do you mean by waveform is, when you simulate, if you have used a Xilinx or a model sim or a Questa sim or a Synopsys tool or a Cadence tool, you can see that this is how the output looks in a simulation tool. So initially, can you see, I'm giving a reset as high. Okay, I'm giving a reset as a high and there is a data value. So this means there is a break, means you are doing it with a new value. So if you see here, there is a 5 second and a 60 second. So the green can be loaded with 60 seconds and the amber sign can be loaded with the 5 seconds. Can you see here? The P register and F register are internal signals. Okay. So if you see, clock reset data in is the input, load P is also input, load F is also an input, start pulse is also an input. But if you see here, NR, NY, NG, ER, EY, EG, SR, SY, SG. These are your outputs. Agree? All these are your outputs which you are seen in that. Now, if you see here the Preg, Freg, the counter and state machine, these are internal signals. What do you mean by an internal signal? For designing your block, you may have to use some internal logic and internal signals. That is what is described here. So now if you see here on reset, can you see on reset what is the value? My north green is high, correct? On reset, how it should be in a state machine? North green should be high. Remaining all signals, what are all signals? North green is high. Can you see? North green is high. North red is 0. North yellow is 0. East red is high. East yellow is 0. East green is 0. South red is high. South yellow and south green is 0. And there will be a west red and there will be a west red and west green and west yellow, which will be follow the same pattern. Now the state machine is, can you see here, it is in north green. Now what is it move to? If you see here, it is going to move to east by north red becomes high. So if you see here, can you see? It is happening like once that is over, you are having a start pulse, correct? When the start pulse is high, the state machine counters, the counters start counting. And what happens when you load the P register value, when that count becomes 0 or it is 40 seconds as we told, here it is given as 60 seconds. Here yellow is 3 seconds, here yellow is changing to 5 seconds, here green is 30 seconds and here green is 60 seconds. So initial value of the load P register is 30 seconds and the yellow is 3. So green will be high for 30 seconds and yellow will be high for 3 seconds. That is what we are programmed. If you see here in between, you can go and change the value. You have seen the policeman changing it, right? That is what is happening. So now the start pulse is given, my state machine starts working. Until and unless my start pulse is not there, can you see it is always in north green. So now I have given the start pulse. What happened? Can you see the counter here? It is loaded and it starts decrementing. Now what happens when it decremented? It has reached 0. When it reaches 0, can you see what is happening here? The yellow is becoming high, east yellow. If you see here, that is what we are expecting. When the counter reaches a 0 value, your east yellow becomes high and north red also becomes high. So if you see here exactly, can you see here east yellow is becoming high and north red is also becoming high at the same time and your north green is becoming 0 at the same time. If you see, all these things are aligned with respect to a clock. You see here, all these things are aligned with respect to a clock. Okay. Now what is happening? East red became high. Sorry, east red is 0. East yellow become high and yellow should be valid for some time. Correct? There is a counter happening. See, can you see here? It is loaded with value 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0 it becomes. On the 0, what will happen is, if you see, after some point of time, the green is becoming high, east green. Because after the east yellow, east green has to come. During the east green, can you see? North red is high, north yellow is 0, north green is 0, east red is 0, east yellow is 0, south red is high, south yellow is 0, south green is 0, like that. North red will be high, north yellow will be 0, north green will be 0. So this process is continuing for you. So like that, it is for each and every state, it is continuing till this whole circle completes. Once the whole circle completes, you can again start doing. Now, the challenges in this design which we face are, what if our start pulse starts in between? What if, see, currently I am in south green state. Suddenly somebody changed and the start pulse is again become 1. In that case, from any state, Whenever I get a start pulse is equal to 1, I have to go back to the initial state, which is the or the green state. That is how you decide. If you have not done that, what will happen? This will be going on. For example, Prime Minister or someone is coming. So what the policeman does, all the other things he will block, and only one direction green will be high, right? Remaining everything he will be blocking. So during that time, he might have applied a start pulse so that the north green is continuously high for a long time. Remaining all are set to that. Okay. For example, you are in South Green. Suddenly he tells that the chief minister is coming. So you want only one direction the flow happens. What he has to do? He has to go do a south start pulse or whatever it is required. He need to do a start pulse. If you go back to initial stage and you need to make everything as zero and come to that stage and fix it there. Fix the maximum time there. If he is to be green, he has to program the counter with maximum value, or he can switch off all other things and only this state is high. Okay, so this is what the timing diagram. So the timing diagram consists of that. Now what if I want to change the value bit of this load P and load F register? You can do that. What happens is in between, for example, when the start pulse is high, currently I am in south green state. Okay, currently I want to make sure that the south green is permanently green for a long time. What I should do? I should just, before the south green counter starts, or in the south green itself, what I can do? I can program the counter value to a high. Load the load P with a maximum value, 2 raised to 8. Maximum value given 6. What will happen? The counter will start counting again and the state machine is sitting in the south green for a longer time. Okay. So you have the flexibility in order to do whatever the programming you wanted to do. Okay. I hope it is clear. So hope the timing diagram is also clear. Now I will read this one and do that. First state is north green is high and remaining all outputs are low. Okay. After some duration of time specified by P register, NG signal goes low and turns to red. That is, north red goes high or state machine changes its state from north green to north red NREY state. He is calling it as an NREY state. Again, after some duration of time specified by the F register, state changes to east green and so on. The signal will remain red until yellow is detected and goes high again when the green goes. So I hope these are all clear. The timing diagram is also clear. Okay. Now, if I want to change any value of this load P or load F in between, what you can do? You can change in between. See, can you see here? Without doing a start pulse, from here it is 60 seconds for the data in value and here it is 5 seconds. Correct? So initial starting green was 30. I want to change it. What I have to do? I need to just make my load P as high and my value has to be given in data. So here if I make the load P as high here, and if I have given it is 120 seconds, what will happen? Automatically the P register. Can you see here the P register? The P register value will be changed. What to value? 60 seconds it has been made here. Or 100 seconds. I gave a value of 100 seconds, P register changed to 100. Now F register, if I give another value, what will happen when the load F is high? It will automatically change it to. So whenever you want to change the value of the load P and load up to the timings you want, whenever you want to change the value of the P register and F register, you can give the load P and load F at that point of time and ask to do the necessary changes in the code. Okay. This is what the traffic controller design is about. Now, how we can translate it into a code? That is what we are going to see that. So that is why the topic is VLSI design using Verilog. Although I circulated this document, I really wanted you guys to understand. Although I circulated it, I want you guys to understand how this works, and then I wanted to go with respect to the code. So I will now stop the screen sharing and I will start the new screen sharing with respect to the coding. This coding I will take. I'm just taking the coding for you guys because I have written a Verilog coding also. So that Verilog coding will give you an idea about how you can code the this thing. 1 minute. I'm just trying to, if I'm not able to share that screen, I'll just copy the code and put it in that document which we opened. And I think we can see with respect to that the coding in that. 1 minute. Let me open that and do that. Yeah, I'm able to open. So if you see the screen now, this is how my coding is going to look like. So my module is a four-way traffic RTL. Okay. If you see my file name and the module name should be same. So for I will every Verilog design coding will start with an extension of .v. So my file name is given as 4 underscore way underscore traffic underscore RTL. See what and all I have. You saw the inputs, right? Do you remember the inputs? There was a clock, there was a reset, there is a load P, load F, start pulse, and a data. So if you see here, can you see clock, reset, load P, load F, start pulse. All these are single bit. So that is why it is given as a single bit here. Now your data is how many bits? 8 bits. That is why it is declared as 7 down to 0 data in. So if you see, all have been, this has been declared as inputs. What are our outputs? Do you remember what are the outputs were? NG, EG, SG. North green, east green, south green, west green. All have been single bit, right? Only one bit. I have declared it as an output as 1 bit. North yellow, east yellow, south yellow, west yellow. All have been declared as a single bit. North red, east red, south red, west red. All have been declared as again a single bit. Now, you remember I talked about registers? Can you see here? I have declared all these as registers. Why? Because anything which I am going to store a value should be a register. So my output is going to be a stored value. That is why I have declared as a register. Do you remember now? I talked about PREG and FREG, right? What is that PREG and FREG? You saw that, right? Whenever the load P is high, whatever given in data in should be stored in the register. That is why this is P register. There is an F register, right? Whatever you go, there is an F register. Then register count. So this is wrong coding. This is a bug. So what we will do is this should also be 7 down to 0 because the counter is a value which you are going to load with the load P and loader. Now this is reg SM out. Now that is what we will come to know in later stage why that is used. Now there is a present state and next state. This is mainly for a state machine coding. We will use a present state and next state. And there is a count value which is also declared as 7 down to 0. Now, how many states were there? Do you remember how many states in that? First it started with north green, north red, east yellow, east green. So 1, 2, 3, there are totally 8 states there. I have declared here 8 states. North green, I have declared it as S0. And this is how we code a state machine in Verilog. Parameter means it is a constant value. So the code will not understand NG, EY and all those things. You give to give a binary value to. If there are 8 states, sorry, sir, 8 states, 8 states, it is 8 bit I have given. So it's starting from 0, 0. 0, 0 is the first state. Second state is 0, 0, 1. Third state is binary 0, 1, 0. Fourth state is 0, 1, 1. Fifth state is 1, 0, 0. Sixth state is 1, 0, 1. Seventh state is 1, 1, 0. Eighth state is 1, 1, 1. Now, do you remember what I have told is always at positive edge of the clock. Once the reset, this is my count value, which is my count register. I'm loading my count register with preg value on reset. If my load P is high, then my count value I am loading it with P register value. If my load F is high, my count value is loading with F register. Okay, else my count value is decrementing. Now, this is how I am going to represent the present state, or this is how I'm going to write a state machine. So what is there? There is a present state and the next state which I have declared. What do you mean by that? My present state is north green. After the counter value becomes 0, that is from 40 seconds, I have to go to the next state which is north red and east y. So to represent that, we are declaring the code as present state and next state. So I'm stopping here. Why? Because I want you guys to understand that, and then because it's almost time also. So I want you to go through the design more and understand what it is, and then we will come back and have a look into the coding again in the next class. Because I want you guys to thoroughly understand this design. Because if you don't understand that design, it will be very difficult when I'm going to explain the code. So any questions, let me know. With that, I am done for the day today. And any questions, I am ready to take up any questions from now on. Okay, so hope this is clear for you, everyone. We will, the coding which I have declared is only input and output and the internal registers. So I will in detail explain in the next coming class how the coding is done. So please understand, and if you're able to write a coding with respect to the current details, then please come up with the coding also. That will be really helpful. With that, I am done. Thank you. We will see.